That has to happen. Too far from the divine, love seeks its truth, and life is blind, obviously. And the instruments deceive. We have already seen how mind happens, etc. And powers are there that debase our thing. You see, our love becomes human passion, human eroticism, all these kind of ugly things. It becomes, you see, jealousy, hatred. It is a part of love, you see, the opposite of love. Hatred, jealousy, greed, lust. These are the aspects of deformed love. You see. And powers are there that labor to debate. They want that thing to continue. Still, can the vision come, the joy arrive? Why? In spite of all that, why? Because it is the divine himself who has taken that position here as love. Because his love is present here, therefore there is a hope. Because he has taken the position here in the void, there is a promise, and the fulfillment of that promise lies in the meeting of the lovers, Satyavan and Savitri. They have to meet. He is there. The divine power also has to come down here as Savitri. That love and the divine power, their meeting is the meeting of Satyavan and Savitri. It is that which has to happen here. Still can the vision come, the joy arrive because of that. Now he is coming. This is most remarkable, most wonderful revelation. Still can the vision come, the joy arrive. One can understand that. But rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. The body of the lover, Satyavan's body, has to be fully prepared to hold the cup of nectar of divine love. Rare is the cup fit for love's nectar. That is the uniqueness of Satyavan. Everything is quintessence in this one single description of Satyavan. Who is Satyavan? It's a rare cup which can hold the heavenly wine. The wine, heavenly wine, what is that heavenly wine? Immortality. Amruta. Amruta. Immortality. Amruta is a liquid. Ambrosia. Ambrosia. It is that Amruta that can be held in a cup. It is towards that things are to move. And Satyavan's body is such that it can hold that Amruta, that immortality. Rare the cup fit for love's nectar wine. As rare the vessel that can hold God's birth. Yeah. Yeah. And perhaps equally rare is the mother who carries in her womb the incarnate himself or herself. She must be a very remarkable person. A human mother bearing God's child in her womb. She must be a really remarkable person. She may not be even aware of it, but there has to be something very great, something extraordinary in her to hold that kind of a thing. It's not an easy thing at all. To hold the immortal, the divine himself in her womb like that. It is something absolutely extraordinary for a person. And the mystery of such a birth that is beyond all our comprehension. But the presence of such a soul in the body of the mother can be extremely hazardous for her, because she is not aware of what is happening to her, to the mother. We say that Shivandu's mother was not in her senses at all. What could be the reason for that? She is holding the incarnate soul in her womb. And what kind of a havoc it can play, the physical body cannot understand, cannot bear it, and it can cause all kinds of disturbances. So, in a certain sense, it is but natural that it should be so in her case. But natural that it should be so in her case. But the greatest pity is our famous biographer. He says that Shivandu inherited madness from his mother. See, this is the pity. This is the pity. I mean, if he doesn't understand, let him just keep quiet. Let him just keep quiet, you see. He says that Shivandu has inherited all that madness from his mother. I don't understand that logic at all. If she was mad, so to say, then how is it that that madness got transmitted only to Shivandu and not to her other children? That question he has to answer. He has to answer that question, you see. That only he got that madness from her. Because Shivandu spoke of 5 madnesses of his to his wife in a metaphorical language. And he catches hold of that thing and he says he got it from his mother. What happened to other children of that girl, of that lady? What happened to her? This is how it happened. And if you talk something like that, then you are thrown out of knowledge. You are thrown out of knowledge. When you speak like that, then no, you are not fit to be in the ashram. Get out from here. That's what happens. That's the pity. Rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. As rare the vessel that can hold God's birth to hold that. See, a soul made ready through 1,000 years is the living mold of a supreme descent. The birth of the avatar takes place, the preparation for this birth takes a period of 1,000 years. The body of Mother and Shivandu must have been prepared in the occult over a period of 1,000 years. Over a period of 1,000 years. By its own occult mechanism, it has to be made ready. And it is that thing then which can hold the supreme descent. That thing which can really hold. In fact, he is talking specifically of the body. His soul made ready through 1,000 years is the living mold of a supreme descent. Not only the physical incarnation of the coming of the avatar, but also the age has to be prepared. Shivandu was born on 15th August 1872. But behind that, over a period of several centuries, the preparation was going on for this birth. A material age had to be prepared. Renaissance had to occur. Great events had to take place in the course of history. They are long preparations towards this birth. It takes 1,000 years to prepare this birth. Perhaps in the earlier cycles, these periods were still longer. These periods are still longer. If you go historically, the time gap between, say, the birth of Rama as the avatar and the birth of Krishna was over long periods of thousands of years. Between Krishna and Buddha, it was really shorter. Between Buddha and Christ, shorter. Comes Shebendo. If we do this kind of a mathematical extrapolation, then we can say that the next birth of his will be much sooner than all these births, earlier births. Shivandu said, told to the mother, I will come in a body, supramental body, made in a supramental way. And Shivandu was asked, how long it will take for supramentalization? He said, maybe 300 years. So, it is coming down now from 1000 years to maybe 300 years, you see. The work is going on like that, in that manner. There is the cup fit for love. Actually, in the context of the meeting of Satyava and Savitri, their love, the poet had no business to talk about this. No business to talk about this. Why should he talk? Why should he mention this thing at all? No, the direct, immediate connection with the story which is narrating. But the relationships, the underlying logic, the underlying reality behind their meeting is of a deep occult nature. And is that deep occult aspect of their meeting which has to come out in these descriptions. Otherwise, you are narrating a story. Why I say it will take 1000 years and this year? I mean, in a certain sense, it becomes irrelevant to the main storyline. You see what we have been told until now. Suddenly, he is thinking of 1000 years and all that. But here, the relationship is of a different type. It is deep, luminous, occult, and the whole occult birth is what has to come out here. Actually, in the essays of the Gita, Shivandu speaks of the process of avatarhood. By what method, in what manner the avatar comes. He describes that. It is in that context we have to see, because he has already spoken that these incarnate spirits, Satyavana and Savitri, therefore he has already suggested that the whole process is an occult process. And therefore, rare is the cup, etc., etc. In the essays of the Gita about the avatarhood, he says that the body of the avatar is prepared by the Manu of the age. The record of Yuga you have got Manu of the age. It is the Manu of the age who prepares the body of the avatar. I think perhaps you can take these lines and say about from the record of yoga, all these things. It is directly connected with the record of yoga. It is a living mode of a supreme descent. These, now he says, he is coming back to the storyline. These knew each other, though in forms thus strange. So the connections are already established. Why? He's not going out of the way, you see. He is bringing out the deeper relationship, the purpose of their coming together, their birth, from the occult spiritual point of view, the luminous occult. These knew each other, though in forms the strange. Who is Satyavan, who is Savitri, she is coming here and he is coming like that and they are meeting. Those strange. But they knew each other inwardly. Although to sight unknown, although life, mind had altered to hold a new significance, these bodies sung the drift of numberless births, and the spirit to the spirit was the same. While they are going from birth to birth, yuge, yuge, as I say, age to age, they are the same. These bodies sum the drift. Yes, everything is kind of gathered together in their form now here. Amazed by joy, which they had waited long, long, not just 1 year, Savitri, traveling for 1 year, but but birth after birth for this particular event. 1,000 years are required to move this form. Amazed by joy for which they had waited long, the lovers made upon their different paths. They had their own spiritual growth, their own line of development, so to say, to mature up to this particular position. Savitri had to go through a certain kind of a cycle. Satyavan had to go through another kind of a cycle to mature up and come to this point, to this meeting place. The lovers met upon their different travelers across the limitless plains of time. So this is not the geographical meeting now. It is happening in a different space and time domain. Together drawn from fate-led journeys, now coming to a human level as if they have been drawn together by fate. Fate has conspired to bring them together here at this destined place, in the Shalva woods. They have to meet here, they have to come together. Together, drawn from fate-led journey, in the self-closed solitude of their human past, to a swift, rapturous dream of future joy. For what? Coming together. For rapturous dream of future joy. The future has to open out joyously, and the unexpected present of these eyes. By the revealing greatness of a look, they have looked into each other and they have seen into each other what all the things. Form smitten, the spirit's memory woke in sense. Form smitten, the spirit's memory woke in sense. It has happened. The mist was torn, so until now there was a cover, there was a mist on the side. That is gone away, that is dispelled. That lay between two lives. This was an early morning meeting, so there must have been a little misty morning, little foggy, but that mist has now gone away. They are seeing each other clear delight. Her heart unveiled, and he is to find her turned. Simultaneously, in one line, he is describing the state of both. Her heart is opened out. The human veil is totally gone. And he was going to find her, he was waiting for her to come. That has been his aspiration, his unspoken wish to find the meaning of this life. Why this material existence? Why this death? Can that not be removed? That has been his search for long. And therefore, he was looking for a solution. And here comes Savitri in answer to his quest. It is Savitri who is questing Satyavan, but it is Satyavan who is looking for an answer, and she comes in answer to his quest. That the dichotomy between spirit and matter must be removed, and the golden link is Savitri. To find her attracted as in heaven, star by star, they wondered at each other and rejoiced and vow affinity in silent gaze. So they are simply looking at each other, into each other, and the cloth is woven. You see, a moment passed that was eternity's ray. So this is what has happened. This is a ray of light which has come from eternity, this moment, and it has passed. And our began the matrix of new time. So the poet is telling us this meeting of Satyavan and Savitri is to open out new doors of time. New time has to dawn, a new matrix, because it's talking of eternity ray. It is ray which is going to wave this matrix light, and hour began. So this is the moment from which things have to happen here, the matrix of new time. So here we see the poet describing their coming together. They have not yet started talking to each other. Now they will start talking in the next canto shortly. And it is Satyavan who is going to make advances towards Savitri, which is kind of natural. It is he who has to take the lead. It is he who has to open up the topic, explain all that. He is the male bird who does most of the shouting. Is it true or not? It is the male bird which keeps on shouting. It is the peacock which shouts more.